Terminus is the best Black Ops Zombies map release since ages. We haven't had a good release like this in quite a while, ever since BO3. Terminus has just been really good, especially from the launch. I cannot tell you, when Terminus first ever launched for Black Ops 6, I fell in love with this game and I had extreme high hopes for the future, and they did meet them, kind of. But Terminus is what started everything for Black Ops 6. Now today I just want to give my review of the map, the good, the bad, and then we'll dive into the boss fight, etc. But I do want to start off with a brief history of Terminus. Terminus takes place 4 years after Cold War, where Richtofen imprisons all of Requiem to Terminus Island, and Peck locates the island. Now with that little history kind of recap of the story done, this map is just really good, and it's a really good launch map. I have nothing against D Machina, but I just like my original maps compared to remakes. It's just my opinion and how I believe. But yeah, this game just released with a bang, being Terminus, and I really do love this map so much. But we will get into the goods and the bads and the pros and cons. But first I want to dive into some little side things about this game. At first, the new systems and all that being introduced, it kind of works with this map. Not saying that I do love the system, because I absolutely do not, and I wish we can go back to the old ways. But I feel like they can modify it later on. But it absolutely works in this map's favor. The bodies of water, and I feel like this map overall just revolutionized Black Ops 6 a little bit more compared to the other maps with the new systems they introduced. But other than that, we're going to get into the bad parts of this map. Now, one of my main gripes with this map is, of course, you guys are going to hear me repeat this again with the previous reviews, the Wonder Weapon being the main part of the Easter egg. At first, I didn't mind it, but looking back, this really is a big drawback for me. I just don't like it. To me, it makes the Easter egg just too short, and I don't like my Easter egg being short. We're kind of moving on to something a little different, is I don't like how clean the map... I get this is, you know, the first time an outbreak zone has happened in Terminus Island, and I admit, I kind of want it to be much more darker and grittier, like up the scares a little bit. It's just a little too clean for my liking. But yet again, that's just a little tiny gripe. Also, another thing, the Mangler, when this map released, there was so much enemy spawn. It was so that you would be on round 25 and you would have like 30 Manglers chasing you down. It just really was annoying, and I'm glad they patched it later on. But it just really sucked at the launch of this map. And again, Manglers coming back, I don't mind them. Just would have preferred a new enemy with this map. But what we got isn't really too bad. It was kind of like a remake and all that. Now, another major gripe I have, this is kind of like what I witnessed and experienced of the launch. I just feel like the zombies on this game were so unforgiving. It was just bad. I just died so many times on lower rounds because these zombies will hit you so quick and fast. And I really don't like that system. I want to go back to the older ways, where the zombies weren't necessarily quick, but they did do damage. And every time you went down, it was kind of your fault, not the game's fault. Well, in this one, it just feels like sometimes like you're just minding your own business, and all of a sudden a zombie comes sprinting at you, and you just get one tap. And it really is annoying. But that's not really a problem with the map. It's just a problem with the gameplay itself. Another kind of nitpick is with the Wonder Weapon itself. It's just the damage is so weak in the higher rounds. It just drops off really quick. But other than that, I don't have problems with Terminus. That's all the bads I see within the map. So we're going to head right into the good parts. One thing I'm going to start off is the new elite we get. The Amalgam is such a cool concept. I love the Amalgam on this map. I hate how he's reused in other maps, but again, this is for the launch. I absolutely love the Amalgam. The Parasites coming back, I don't mind too much. I do wish it was still a new enemy, but we haven't seen them in a while, so I guess I'll let it slide. But the Vermin, they were pretty cool. Again, hate how they're reusing every single map right after this, but they were still pretty cool at the launch. And the overall design, like I said, it would have benefited much more in my opinion if it wasn't too clean. But again, the design, I still gotta give credit to where credit is due. The design of this map is still pretty phenomenal. I love this design overall, and it's just a really cool concept of a biolab / prison in the middle of water where you can drive your boat Oh, let me get into that. The travel on this map is absolutely amazing. This reminds me so much of the transit system, where you have like a vehicle where you can just like drive from side to side of the map. Like you got the little islands, the main island, and then you got a crashed boat, and you can just kind of just drive your boat to it. I really do love that. To me, it makes the map feel much more special and unique to other maps, because you know a lot of maps don't have kind of like this transit style where you have a vehicle, and I really do love and appreciate that. Now again, there is one thing that was introduced within this game that I just, again, love, and that is the zombie encounters. Whenever you load into a game in Terminus, you will realize there are zombies already there, eating people, guards, and all that. And then you'll see some tied on beds and all that, but when you get near them, they come alive and attack you. That is just so damn cool and amazing. I don't know why it took so long for them to do this, but I absolutely love this feature. It just gives the map much more... It makes them feel much more alive, to the point where you close the game and it feels like the map is still alive and going. And I really do love that. And again, the weather and the atmosphere is so good on this map. I love how dark and gloomy it is with the rain falling down. It just makes the map, it just ties everything together in a beautiful knot. I really do appreciate that. I know I'm kind of repeating a lot of things, but it is what it is with this channel. Now, the high rounds, they're pretty fun. I did the Dark Ops calling card round 50 terminal. That was really fun. Pretty good positive for me on there, even though it is just an injection, which sucks, but again. Also, the mini boss on this map, we never had a mini boss during the Easter egg. That was really cool. Loved that we got that. It's really cool overall. And the new perk being Melee Macchiato is pretty good. This perk isn't as good as I wish it would be, but I still like to use it every now and then. It's not the main perk I go get. It's just kind of a side perk I would get from the Wonder Fizz, or I just get it for a challenge at all. Nothing too crazy with that one. Now, I want to get into the side Easter eggs, because these are the best side Easter eggs we have gotten any Call of Duty, and I do not want to hear anyone say otherwise. There is so much to do on this map, just so much to do. You can never really get bored of this map because you're just constantly doing a lot of stuff. They have the Talisman Easter egg, you got a free Perkaholic, and there's just so much to do. And also, like, the sound effects and audio are just really good. Round change, again, they have been killing it with the music and all that on this map. All these round changes are so good, and I listen to them in my free time whenever I do. Like, I don't know if it was the time it came out in or something like that, but when this map released, I just felt everything was perfect. I really, really love this map, and I keep repeating myself, but I can't just, like, I just can't explain to you guys how much this map, to me, means to me when I was giving up on Call of Duty, and I just thought they couldn't ever make a good game again with zombies and all that, but here they disproved me so good, and I really do just I know I said I didn't like the Easter egg because of the wonder weapon and all that, where it just took forever and half the Easter egg was a wonder weapon, but the good 20% of the Easter egg that's not the wonder weapon was still pretty good. They could, you know, make it longer next time, and they gladly do a little bit, but they still got a lot to work on. Now, speaking on the wonder weapon, I love the Beam Smasher. It is really cool in concept. I'm so glad we got an original wonder weapon for this game. Now, that is sadly the last one, like, weapon shooting one we would get, because after this, it's all remakes. But for the launch, this was really good, and I do appreciate that so much. Now, we are going to get into the boss fight, because, oh my god, man. When I first saw Patient 13, it was just phenomenal. There's just a lot I want to repeat. I remember on Christmas Day when I first got this quest done, it was so amazing. The boss fight was just phenomenal. Everything was fun. This just feels like a Elden Ring type boss, and it's pretty weird for Call of Duty Zombies, but it just really works. And I just love this shit so much. So I do want to get into deep detail about this boss fight, and it's just, I love the concept and everything again. So the first stage of this boss fight, it's just him just chilling around, swiping and all that. So nothing too crazy. Then the second phase, it's just more of that, baby. He becomes magma or something like that. And then the third phase, that's where all hell breaks loose. You got two zones, left and right, just completely destroyed. So you only have the back side and the front side. And you just have shit ton of zombies swarming at you, which will lead to the player freaking out and just getting stressed out, and this will lead to their death and end their game. And I really love when boss fights do that, where they make you either A, you can remain calm and beat the boss fight, focus, or you're just gonna panic and just gonna get your ass kicked. It's just really cool, and it just adds a little bit of skill to the game, where you just have to chill out and you will absolutely beat these boss. Now, stepping away from the boss fight a little bit, I do want to dive into the story, because everything does tie up in the end with this beautiful bow, leading us all in the Citadel, and I just thought it was a good start to ending story with this game. But I think that's going to do it for me today on why Terminus is the best launch map we had since BO3. I really do like this map, and I hope we get a really good finale. Next video is Liberty Falls, our last one. This is kind of the end of the Black Ops review series, but if you guys like it, make sure to like and subscribe. You can always unsubscribe from my content if you don't enjoy. But that's all for me. Peace.
Well done. That looked exhausting.
That's it, yeah? Tell me there's no encore.
Today must have been very difficult for you, Peck. Humiliating.